What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten football channel. Our 2019 college football schedule preview series continues with the Iowa Hawkeyes. You can see their schedule on your screen, and the non-conference is not too bad. You got Miami of Ohio, Iowa State on the road. Of course, they play them every year, and then Middle Tennessee. So no big showcase game. And, Iowa and Iowa State, I don't think really need to play a big game when they play each other every year. And in the Big Ten and in the Big 12, you only have 3 non-conference games. So if you play, if Iowa played Iowa State and then scheduled a big game against, an SEC school or something like that, that would make for a brutal schedule. So I have no problem with them scheduling a couple of group of 5 teams there. You can run through the schedule. They play Rutgers at home, on the road at Michigan. And that's going to be a tough one. Penn State at home, Purdue at Northwestern, at Wisconsin. Tough back-to-back games there, but there is a bye week in between. And then you go to you have Minnesota and Illinois at home, and finish things out with a Nebraska team on the road that almost beat Iowa last year, and a Nebraska team that I think is going to be a lot better this year. So that could be a tough way to close out the season. I think this Iowa team is going to be good. I think they're going to be about what they always are, a solid team. They had a lot of losses on defense, but I expect them to be pretty solid on that side of the ball because they always are. And offensively, Stanley's back at quarterback. They got their options at running back. They do miss their 2 big tight ends. So, I think this Iowa team is going to be about the same as they were last season. If Nate Stanley can go out and play like an NFL caliber quarterback or something like that, and he goes out and has just a crazy season, then maybe this Iowa team can take it to another level. But again, you look at the schedule, and you got games that they could definitely lose. You have Iowa State, Michigan's going to be tough, Penn State's going to be tough, Purdue's going to be good, Northwestern and Wisconsin both on the road, Minnesota is going to be improved, then Nebraska on the road. So this is a pretty tough schedule for this Iowa team. I don't really see them making a run at the top 10 or the playoffs or anything like that with this schedule. You do look for some easy games, some easy wins, games that we're pretty much going to give them a guaranteed wins on, and that's Miami of Ohio and Middle Tennessee. There are no guarantees in sports, especially in college football. We all know that. But unless something crazy happens, they should win both of those games. And to be fair, I haven't looked at the group of 5 teams yet, so I don't know how good those teams are going to be. But based off of what we've seen in the past, I don't expect them to be able to challenge Iowa. So those are wins. And then you look at that next tier of games, that next step, the games that Iowa should win. If they take care of business, if they play well, they shouldn't have any problems winning these games. I think Rutgers for sure week 2. That should be a win unless they're looking ahead to Iowa State, but it's at home and a tough place to play. So you got to like Iowa's chances in that game. And then Illinois as well. I do expect Illinois to be better this year. I think they'll be very competitive. But again, playing at home, I don't know if they're going to be able to beat Iowa in that game. So we'll give them those 4 wins. And then again, you look at the rest of this schedule, where do the wins come from? They could lose every game on this schedule almost. They could. It's a pretty difficult schedule. You look at the road games. Again, Iowa State, Michigan, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Nebraska. 5 tough road games. And I don't know where these teams will be at the time, but right now I would probably say Iowa would be an underdog in all 5 of those games. They'll probably be an underdog against Penn State. That's 6 losses right there. Then you have Purdue and Minnesota at home. But those are 2 teams that are going to be good this year. So a projected record for this Iowa team, it's kind of tough. I don't really see them. I think they make a bowl game. I think they at least get to 6 wins. They win a couple of these games. But I don't know if they can get past about 9 wins. I think that's about the best case scenario given this schedule. Again, to get to 9 wins, you have to win against, remember, Iowa State, Michigan, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Nebraska. Those 5 games there, you've got to win 2 of those 5 and win the rest of the games just to get to 9-3. So that might be pretty difficult. Again, those games will be tough for this Iowa team. I think they've got it in them. We've seen it in the past. This Iowa team always, they're one of the more consistent programs. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did do that and get to 9 wins. But beyond that, I don't really see that happening. And again, when we give you the projected wins, that's only in the regular season. We're not including a potential conference championship game or a bowl game. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I think Again, you could easily drop to 6 wins. Maybe they beat Minnesota and Purdue at home and then lose those road games. And you're just like that. You're down to a 6-6 record. So it's going to be a tough challenge, I think, for Iowa. The schedule, it's not the most brutal schedule in college football, but for a team like Iowa, if this was a schedule for Alabama, you'd probably say, well, that's a pretty easy schedule. But for a team like Iowa, I think it's a difficult schedule. Again, with a lot of these games on the road, it's going to be tough. And especially Michigan, Penn State back-to-back. That's one of the tougher back-to-backs I think that I've seen so far. And really that stretch from Michigan to Northwestern is going to be tough for this Iowa team. So I think they, again, could get to 9 wins potentially. I think this is a bowl team. I don't see them slipping behind 6-6. If I had to pick right now, I'd probably go in between that. I would say 7-5, 8-4, somewhere in that range. Thank you for watching this video. If you're a Big Ten football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in Big Ten football, keep it right here.